Kalau kita faham ia pasal kalau kita buat fakir kami paling tak ada buat tuan ke faham kau tahu Polokalama Makehe buat kau ni ya kau feel lah ya pito ke uhen ya kami tu kita DBN Feitu'u Assembly of God First Assembly of God tongan ni kau fatai Polokalama kau ni befo kiki tu kita Ray Ibrahim kau tu tak kau ni mispite kau ni mahu kitongan pia ne ngau itu ngani toni au tau kai ko hi ko ngai fainga ta fasino ko ia ai au nau au tau fainga ta ia ia tau ki fonon pia ko fifia pito i ho ko ni ke ho ba ki program ko ni ko falot la framam ke mo tol ko ta pe mo me ba ki program ko ni pe ko tu e to kon la pito ni ke re mo tol ko to e ku ve wa pito kai to la ya ye puputu ye kakai e fonua pe ko hai me te nau fai e wa tai goini ku o ku hoko mai ai mak fau ko ni ko coronavirus pe o ku ke tai pau e tola ke tu tai pau ko hai tu tun fi ki nau fai e tai beni ke tai mau inga pitoin ta fonuan ya mau inga pito ke fai pe ha ki ta no kia e lo na to ko ni ni ko inga ko fi te tau fai i tau mo i hoa koe ni. Ia i hoa koe ni ke te whalolo, o whameng ke tuange ke tuketa, Stephen Naipol, Feitu'u Assembly of God, ke ne hanga moa omi e ngahi mea whanga i kia tuku iono loto, whakaku koe mahu inga whoki, kau talo eiki a tua i ngahi mea, ka ea mea unau tokanga kia i, mahu inga peke whai tokanga kia. He ku i kai ke whai a sio whanatula na tāpe, ka wai sio whalau maari, whakalufua, ke tunga kia i ai whanua, o whiwhilahe pito, Steven kau hi Polokalama te tua te whinga mari ko ni ke te koe mau.
Au whata ma whai pia mo toko wan, pia pehe foki ki he toke tā ispite koe ni. Ke mau ngau e whakatahatu i he talatala noa koe ni. Pia ku whampe ke ua ki whakama ala ki mua. Ua ki whakama ala pe ki mua. Oku i kai ko hoku tawha aki oku ai e ria o metikolo, pe ko e ria o Feitu'u. Ko tawha aki oku pia mo toko wā ko e ria ko ia whakatauhi sipi pia me wholofola e otua, pia me ui e otua ke te mautolu. Ka i he e nea o mai ki he tuunga oku lahi e ngahi Feitu'u pia lahi e ngahi Polokalama mo e puputu'u na e whai ai ai whakaamu ke tari ha ngahi Feitu'u, hange koe ni ke ngahi Feitu'u au pito, ngahi Feitu'u lahi e te au. Pau whawhehu i mahe kakai, koe hae uhinga o kui kai te ke huhu COVID ai. Hae uhinga ku ke against te huhu COVID. Whamare mori peka o ki whamala ala. O kui kai te against a vaccine. O kui ka ko hanga whakawhepaki i mālohi au pito, ai whakamālohi i ko ia, ke huhu e toko taha kotoa pe i he. Talatala noa koe ni o ko whaamu ke tala noa i peke e reko ni patok tuange ki a Feitu'u Perry ai uhinga koe ku i kai teu a vaccine a iau pe mhoki i whamiri. O ko whie mau e aui o ko tui o ke e ku totonu ko tangata i whanua tonga au keu ilo i information ko toa pe whilawe i pe mo vaccine koe ni pe tok whai mea ku whai tu'u ni kau te aiatu. O ko whie mau he ke e ku totonu ki hoku sino. Na ko ngau ke posa pate ku lea mai i he Polokalama malanga ko posa pate ki he kakai ko tokon whatau i CPN. O ki ai ho totonu ke iloi ki mua ai whakamatala kakato ko toa pe, pia ke toki whai rewa ho whai tutu ni. Tau lea mai pe ke kakai. Ka pau ko ho whai tutu ni ke vaccine ko uhi ko tunga whakai sino, whakawheta i ke he iki. tapu kina ko e ki taitari fia ko ka paurewa ku kai ko Feitu'u ni ko uhi ko fili tawataina ka ko whakamalohi ko me tua ko whaambingi whakahoko atu o ku hala ia hala whakai wholofola hala be me Feitu'u ni o tawataina o mai e o tua pe ko tui hala he koni stu tone fonua pe a i tala noa ko ni be ko whaamu ke o mai ai ai ngai fehu I ko eni whelave I pa mo information ko eni ke uhi ke tokoni ki he kakai e whonua o koutui o ki ai e totonu whaka e whika ai poto ngau e mo ui ke nau o mai e whakamatala kakato ki he kakai whatata ke ka paurewa o ki ai hawhahinga a te upehepe ka pau ki hak whakoutua ko o ko whakoutua mahak mafu au e fie ma uie ke o mai whakamatala kakato ke te au ke hae uesia e whai he vaccine ke te au whelave I pa mo tuunga e mafu o kou iai pe tok whai me e ku whiri he ku iai e ngahi huu lahia pe ko whaambegi whakahoko atu o ke mau totonu ke mau huu he lahi ko ia ai mate he hiri ange pe a vaccine ke mau totonu ki ai he koe uhi o whelave e nia mo e mau mo ui koe a ki mau tolu pe koe totonu whaka e whika ia a ki mau tolu me ki mau tolu e potonga e mo ui ke mo o mai e whakamatala kakato ka te ki mau tolu ke whai e tau ngā ue ke kakato koe uhi koe mo ui koe ia kakai e whonua ai nai whai kai whakamooni fuakawa pe I hene peherewa ko whakaamu keu hange koe ni I he ngai whihoi koe ni ulaki o ku malu I kakato au e vaccine COVID koe ni ko whihoi ulaki o malu I kakato au he koe ne hau koe ai tari koe pe ku malu I kakato au ka paurewa o ku malu I kakato au whakapapau I he COVID koe ni kai kau palpare ma akuai ka paurewa o ke hawha I loka whehu I ai ka hae huinga whakalau I ai o ki ai nei ha external pressure pe ka external force mei tua o ku ne hanga o take over a e mau totonu whakai tangata whakai foi tui ke heria koe ni whehu I hono wa o kos ilo I pau nai ai ngai side effects o vaccine ko ni on the long term o ko ilo I pau nai ko tui pe I he tafaaki ko ni o ko mahu inga pite ka ki mau tolu he ko uhi ko toki kamata mai pe a vaccine ko ni ko fehu I hono tolu o ko malu I he hu COVID-19 ko ni ki mau tolu me delta variant o ko malu I nei ki mau tolu me ai I he tafaaki ko ni ko hui ku lahi ngai whakatotolo ko uhi ko kai ke hatari whiunga ai o mai me patunga mo ui na whai e ngai whekumi, whai e ngai whakatotolo o a upe ki whaka eke a kau medical doctors I tō pure anga kau medical doctors pak mau mo ku ngai socials pe ko eke pe ko whie ma upe ke o mai tari pau ko uhi ko e kakai o mai e otua ke tauhi ta mo e kakai o ko vahe ka ki nau tolu pe a ko tahi ngai whiu na ko ave ta ko watu pe ki he potonga mo ui o ku malu I nai ki mau tolu e he huhu malu I ko ni me delta variant ko sia nai hangai research ai pure anga ai potonga mo ui atonga pe mo ngai interview independently tawataina whelave I ko ni pe mo vaccine ko tonga ngau aki AstraZeneca ko ngai whiu pe mo whaamu ke tari mai ko osi whainai hangai debate a kau medical doctors me scientists atongani whelave I pe mo lere ko ni o al me api ki he api me he kolo ai huhu malu I koe ni mana tui o kui kai ke palo pare ma aku ia ai vaccine he go os vaccine a wia I he huhu polio huhu misele ko uhi os provia he ngai taimi lahi ka koe hu whawawa me koe ni mo lahi a ngai wesia o ku hoko mau whakaamu ke tari mai e mau ngai whehu I koe ni e area koe ni pe a koe whehu I e taha o ku tapui nai e kau toke taha ke naurea pe ke nau a whai hawhi kumi tawataina ke ngahi mate koe ni o hoko he kakai he osi koe ia hono huhu ki nau tolu o ku tapui nai ki nau tolu hana e uhinga o ku lawa ke toe mo where nai ka pau e huhu malu ia ko whatata a kie ni whihu ia ta ka pau e huhu malu ia ke AstraZeneca e lawa ke u te hanga o whakapipihi ai mahaki ki hataha kehe ko ngai whihu I koe ko whaamu ke tari mai ia he ko siai e ngai information ia me ngai Feitu'u wa upe ke Johnson Medical Associates na mi Amerika ngai Feitu'u ke aya o ke e whekumi pe mo eke pe mo whakatotolo ke nau tokoni mai pe o kai ke mau whakaamu koe whakawhepaku mau whakaamu ke whakamama kakai ke o mai mo e mo ui ke he kakai kau kai koe mate mo e puputu'u kai ke koe ngai koe whewhe e ku immunity ka pau ko ospu ke I he vailasi e toi whiema upe ke toi huhu au Neo ko ko immunity ko ia us malo fe unga ke fa fe paki o malo ia ngeia I he malo ko o vaccine Ka ngai fehu I pe ko whaam ke tuku mai, he ku whiama o he kakai whonua ke nau ilo, ku lahi ni I he ku nau puputu, lahi ni ku nau confuse. Ka koe ko ngai e ngahi tāla whiri pa me ngahi fehu I ko ia, o ku whai mai he kakai, pe mo whekumi ko ia, ku whiama o ke tokoni mai ai poto ngā ue mo ui. He ku mautui sia ke tunga whatu tāmaki koe kua koe ke aho ni, mau whiwhiri rewa ki mautolu ia, hau whakamalo I pehe I ai. Ka pau koe ke malu I kakato. Wa we ke tuunga ko si turi ai ni I me ngā ue anga. Ko whakamalo I pe me nau totonu whakai o tua. Whewhe ke watu whiu whakaosi koe ni. E eke nei toto hai ka te nau tolu, ma te hiri pe ai hu COVID. E eke nei ke hai ngahi toto ko ia. He koe koe ke ha mea ngāwi tongan ke sivi aki nau tolu. Pena kei ke nau maua information I kakato ko ia, ke whai mea nau whiri. Ka talange pe ke nau whiri he se ifi pe. Ko tunga whakatau sipi pe ko rea mea, pe mo e to owa. Kai ke ko anga pe mau vahe atu e aoni, ne ngo kulahi angahi resources ia ko na o mai e ngai tari ma o whakawhia mahari ka mau whakaam ke pure anga tonga. He ku aure ni au whakalau ia I he pure anga tonga pe ku toi peke whakamoni huawhanai ki ai a ene awhio. Ai tuunga koe ni ka ku mau ho haalahi au pito. Ke tuunga mo ui, tuunga malu, mo tuunga tawataina ko ia ai whonua. Malo pito, whekau.
Malo pito, whekau. Ito kita Steven ya polo ye ngai whiu I lahi koutui koe. Koe ngai whiu I lahi pitoi mu whahoko koe Steven ni pa koutui. O ku iai e whakaamu ia ki e pungai mo ui ki nau tari ngai whiu koe ni. Ta koutui koe ngai whiu koe ni mahui ngai ke uraki tari. Koe ngai whiu koe ni mahui ngai ke uraki tari ngai whiu koe ni pa toki huhu kita I huhu koe ni whai koe ni. Ko hinga ngapa e lama ke o mai ha tari whawhie maari ke ngai huhu koe ni koutui e whawhie maari e pe ki tau ili fia he huhu he taimi koe he tau ki tupu hake he koe uhi he na e seifi pe huhu koe ia tau ki tau hoha I tau tolu ki ai ka koe toki hao koe whai huhu koe ni pa ngari ke he ko hinga ki lahi la na ku lava ki whaima ki sapa te maro fui toko hongo fulu na ku alo sia ki ai me to la ya tinga to to o no hu to o ki na to na ta ko te fermaki pa me fai ho ha ke tu fa ta sipi wa me ko me na ke vai ke fa I ho malanga ko e sa pa te na ke pe o sai pe e fa ka o mai sai ni si mo to ke ta ko tai ko e ho pa e mate ke te ko tai ko hu wa ko porque to fermaki o ke malo lo e ka ke e te ta ko fa ka o to fa ho Ko tu eu ko mau ingai ko ke rea ko ka ta lotu mo ka foi ficar ko na ko ta fa ko ta usipi ko ia hono to nga e ka kai ko ia o he tau maluma pa ko fa fita pe ke ko nga ko fia ma o fenga mali ko lo to la fai e to etas ni na bol ki ma ha te programa a ko ni ko nga pe ke ombe fa to kan ki e por nga mo i o ku ka ke fram ke fai a hange ngari fa ha tu ke tu to ni mo fai por nga mo i ma fia la Ko Polokalama ko nu atau pito pi ke mo kau mai ke tau tala noa ke la mi fa mala ala ngai me hapi ko lau tau ki fola pe fala ngai fa ki tala mo ki e ka fa pe ki tata noa ko hinga ko tui e mau e mahino la hi apito mai tai ko fa tata noa ni pe ko e fiala ko hinga ko hen to me to ta ko ni Dr. Ibrahim ko na ne fa Feitu'u taki ke taha e kau siapan ko taha ni to ta me WHO ngawe to ngan ko nau tolu e nau mai hu ko ni ko mai ko ki tonga ni na fa ta no ke fam ki kau ko kam ga ni ta mana ki mo ua e me ko ni kau fam ka hampe ko ta no ke ai fam ki nau kau mai ki ko
mana bito
po ngai mo ki mo kau mai ki ko kam ko ni ke minister be po ki CEO pe ko to ta pe fa mari la ke tari ngai fiu ko ko ha ki ai fa kau pe ki to la hi ka fo no ma
mana bito
ke I ho ko ni te to fa mari ko ni ke to ka Ibrahim ko to ta fa ko ni ko ispite fo ko to ke ta ka ko hinga ku ia e ne to tong ke rea ko sia ne ka certificate anai certificate ne ua fa ono fitu
that's part not all the certificate
ta ko ka to ni certificate o me WHO o stapa mai me WHO pa ku ia e ne to tong ki tala no fika pa me ma ko ke hu ko ni lo tonga fai ko nga ko COVID di fra mama lahi Aya ko ia ko fia la hepi te ma fenga mari hen pe mo to tan ke ne hanga o to mai ai fenga mari ko ni ki la mai ke me ko no hoko o ta fo no ni Dr. Ray, what is happening right now here in Tonga? What is really happening?
Okay, first of all, I want to welcome. You found my video on December 2019 when I said this virus being created in lab. When the people was argument in this time about it's created in lab or not. So I'm the first one. If you back to Genesis Clinic Facebook, you found me. I'm the first one saying this. This definitely created by lab because the size of the virus is bigger than usual viruses. This is number one. Number two, when we talk about vaccine, my clinic name Genesis because that's one of the why I choose Genesis. When we talk about the vaccine, we have three types of vaccine in the world. A vaccine deals with the whole virus. For example, if you have chickenpox vaccine, or you have measles, if you sit with trillion people, 1 million people, they have chickenpox or they have measles, you will not get sick. Before 2010, the vaccine was a weak virus, or we gave it to the kids to build them immunity, because our immune system works with code. So once our immune system have the code of the virus, you will not get sick again with the same virus, because our immune system have the code.
Okay.
When we talk about the immune system, we have the B cells and the T cells. That's our soldier in our body to go and defend. Once they have the code, they fight. Another type of vaccine, we're dealing with a material like RNA or DNA. This like cholera, we're dealing with material. We have another type of vaccine, which is now we talk about the whole type of COVID-19 vaccine. This type we're dealing with some part of the virus. If you go back when just 2 minutes ago when I talk about the pneumonia, unknown pneumonia, the viral, it's protein infection, that's how they start pneumonia in our body. But in COVID, the S spike protein, that's like we can call it, if I may say, 3-dimension. That's why it's separating fast and faster and faster. The S spike protein here, that's where we're dealing with all the different type of the vaccine for COVID, which is mean. If you go back to WHO, the vaccine is to prevent symptoms, not to protect. So, if you take any type of vaccine, when you get sick COVID, the symptoms will be less because we're dealing with part. You need to understand what is the different type of vaccine. So the COVID vaccine, we're dealing with part. Why we're dealing with part? When we studied a respiratory system, the respiratory virus or bacteria or viral, which is I mean to be concerned about the three, we don't have a right vaccine. For example, why we don't have vaccine for pneumonia? Why we don't have vaccine for asthma? Why we don't have vaccine for even common cold? Because the respiratory infection, they're dealing different than the other viruses or bacteria or fungus come to our body. You want to translate what I'm saying or continue?
Yeah, just continue.
Yeah, I will continue. So the S spike protein here, this is the, when they come to our body, when someone infected with COVID, I have a lot of people from Egypt was my patient in wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Even my brother, he gets sick 3 times of COVID. Even the COVID affect the stomach, the digestive system, because not all the COVID just affect the respiratory. We have type of COVID affect the digestive system. Okay? So the question here, why our body can't make or take the code for the virus to attack them again, so we will not sick. And that's why it takes long time for the scientists all over the world try to get vaccine. So the people get sick in the first wave of COVID, we can't take them the code. We can't take from them a vaccine to inject other people to be protected. Because again, the respiratory infection is worked differently. In general, when we study microbiology, the flu, like the influenza, we call it a neck virus. What do you mean by a neck? We have virus, we have a neck virus. The neck virus actually activated in the world. We have about 362 different types of flu. Okay, this is clear. When now we talk about the vaccine, which is, if you go back to my Facebook, March 2020, I'm the first one explain, and you can check by date in my Facebook page, Genesis Clinic. I explain the difference between the RNA of a human being and RNA in animals and the mosquitoes. Why the mosquitoes didn't die of COVID? Why animals didn't die of COVID? Because they just a carrier. Why they just a carrier? Because the RNA, and I believe all of you heard mRNA vaccine, but no one knows what is the M for. What is the RNA doing in our body? Which is in March 2020, even before any vaccine being come to the world. Okay, I'm the one who's talking about the RNA. What is the RNA? That's a big question now. And why they call the vaccine mRNA? The definition of RNA in biochemistry, the RNA, it's a complex ribonucleic acid. Ribonucleic acid. What is the ribonucleic acid or the RNA? The ribonucleic acid, it's a present of all the living cells on the earth. So you find it in you, in me, on the animal, the dogs, cat, rat, pet, whatever, any living cells. They have the ribonucleic acid. The ribonucleic acid, it's present as the rules or the principal rules of the ribonucleic acid. It's a messenger to carrying the DNA instruction for the synthesis protein. So it's a synthesis protein. That's how they control. So you have protein in your body. My body make protein so I can be alive. So we live. I'm still alive, you're still alive, I'm still alive, because the RNA. Because this is the controller of the carrying the message from the DNA to create the protein in our body. That's an easy way, simple way to understand. So when the virus come to someone, now the virus create their own protein. You got it? This different protein, different than our body. What is the reaction? The immune system come to attack this different protein, start to build in your body. That's why when the immune system get the code, now once this protein come, attack, they know how to fight this protein. This is not found in COVID so far. So when we talk about this one, in the biochemistry, the RNA in some viruses, they carrying the genetic information of the virus. And now they said, the scientists, okay, we will check. And they found the RNA of COVID or SARS-CoV-2, they carrying the information of the protein, like some genetic of the protein. But in fact, they can't take the whole virus even to make it weaker. Even the Chinese vaccine, it's a weak virus. They try to deal with the weak virus. Some people, after they took the vaccine, the Chinese one, they get sick. Some people, they didn't. As the first wave. Some people, they get very bad sick of COVID and they die. Some people, they get sick and treated. And people, they carrying COVID, but they are not sick, they are carrying. Now, it's different because this will make confusion to the people. But as a medical background or as a scientist or people study science or chemistry, they will understand what I'm talking about. But I try to explain to the public because of the misleading information, especially when you guys been asking doctors and the doctor said we don't know. But I'm explaining everything according to a fact. Okay? So we go back to this area there, the protein. When they study in Oxford University, try to get a similar protein that our immune system can hold to fight, not to just have it and then when you get sick of COVID, you can be dead. So they try to make the symptoms less. By research, they found something called adenovirus. So the virus, adenovirus, it's in chimpanzees. They never come to human. But the S spike protein, which is made of the RNA of the adenovirus, it's similar 80% to the S spike protein made of COVID-19 or SARS. So they get this adenovirus from chimpanzee have the adenovirus. So now we have the RNA, which is M, because it's a messenger, as the RNA already responsible, the principle to play rules as message carrying the information and instruction from the DNA to your body to create the protein. So by people, they have the mRNA, or it's the ribonucleic acid, plus adenovirus, plus the RNA, that's the ribonucleic acid from the chimpanzee plus the adenovirus, this hold the information to our body. So when the people get sick of COVID, at least we have 80% similar with the protein come from COVID, so the less will be. But this, it's not to protect, because people, they get angry why people get shot and they get sick and still die. The England Minister of Health last week, they announced that 781 persons died because of Delta. 481 full vaccine with AstraZeneca, like they have the 2 shots. And 79 died just to have 1 shot. So the total, it's above 66% of the people dying in Delta, caused by Delta in England, they between full vaccine and half vaccine of AstraZeneca.
So what are you saying, that people who have been taking the shot can still die?
Yeah, let me explain to you. The life before COVID, it will never back again. So you have the vaccine, you still keep distance, wear mask, wear gloves, wash hand.
So, am I fully protected?
No.
From after
the
vaccine?
guideline from the WHO, okay? They said this vaccine is to prevent symptoms.
Prevent symptoms.
With the problem.
No,
Just
remember when I explained the 3 types of vaccine? The COVID vaccine all over the world, we deal with part. We're just dealing with the S spike protein. Okay?
I see.
And I was explaining why the AstraZeneca main ingredient is from adenovirus plus the RNA of chimpanzee, because the RNA play rules as a carrier instruction from the DNA to create the synthesis protein in your body. So we have this type of different come to our body. Back to what happened here. On the first trial of AstraZeneca, 3,000 people took the vaccine. Blood test after that, positive HIV. Then
Positive HIV.
positive HIV, as I said,
AstraZeneca.
that on the first trial, when we get people, they said, I want to be trial for this vaccine. That's we call gazebo. So the first trial, the people, they took the vaccine, they have positive HIV. And this happened in Australia too as well. But they announced this positive HIV as false positive HIV. We are not sure how long these people, they will have the false positive HIV again. You take the ribonucleic acid from animals, from chimpanzee, come to you. But this was the first trial. The second trial, we have biological issue happen in the blood caused by AstraZeneca. That's why in March 2021, 28 countries all over the world suspend AstraZeneca because of
28 countries.
28 countries. They suspend because of the biological issue happen in the blood, cause clotting, cause a stroke or heart attack, or the blood plate is getting less. That's why people die. The WHO guideline, when someone gets sick of the vaccine, the doctor must report it, not to deny. Okay? This is a fact. When we studied the vaccine during the WHO, we have a risk sheet. This risk sheet must be printed, filled by the doctor. because the vaccine not for everyone. The vaccine not for everyone. That's the guideline for the WHO. People, they have genetic disease. Because we're dealing with the RNA. So people have any type of genetic disease. Autoimmune disease, for example. Any type of autoimmune disease, they high risk if they take the vaccine. People with cancer, they must not take the vaccine. Okay? People, they have history of a stroke. They high risk. I put them in high risk if they took stroke. Diabetes. They're not allowed. No. The vaccine is not good for everyone. Plus, with AstraZeneca, anyone under 18 years old, they not allowed to take AstraZeneca.
I have heard from the press conference coming from the government that AstraZeneca is safe and it has been tested. In fact, it was on Matangi Tonga News that it has been tested. The medicine has been tested the last 8 years and they just add in more. I just read it from the
last 8 years.
The part of the medicine that they have used to form AstraZeneca.
No. Stop.
What I'm trying to say is to clear to the public.
I make it clear to the public.
Good.
I make it clear. The only vaccine being approved from the FDA, and what is the FDA? It's Food Drugs Association in America, and the whole world following the FDA. I'm not talking about Russia, because Russia is outside of the FDA. I'm not talking about China, because China is outside of the FDA. I'm not talking about North Korea, because it's out of the FDA. Japan is out of the FDA too, because they have their own system. Okay? So we make it clear. When we talk about 8 years ago, when we talk about the vaccine, when we start to give the vaccine to the kids as a dead virus, because our immune system deals with the code. Okay, so when you talk to me about the vaccine, I have a lot of history about the vaccine, because before I was trying to create vaccine against cancer. So I know what I'm talking about. I know when I talk about the RNA and about the vaccine and how the vaccine, what type of vaccine. When the people said it's been tested, where? I won't see the reference. Because the only vaccine from COVID being approved from 11 years above, it's Pfizer only. AstraZeneca till today, they don't have approved from the FDA. Wow. The only approved as trial vaccine under emergency. That's number one.
Can he translate it for the public, because they need to hear that?
Yeah. Ko family is tonga de ulawi ke to kita. Ko nga wa be ni talanoa fikan pa e susinika ngol wa ki tonga ni o skamata hono hu ma ka tolu tal pa me kamata mai tau ko ni. Pe a ko ni whakamata la ko ke susinika o ni talama e ko ngai fonua ne o fu mama na ta off ki na tolu
kai to nga aki a susinika. FDA go America te ka ke na fango fu ke na tolu ke nga aki a susinika. Fata pe ko tesi ga alpe emergency ai go he tu nga fatu ta ma ke apito ya pe ko ne tu go ya pe go ke ko ne tu go ye WHO ne o ska matala ma he ku loto ye WHO ne tala mai kapa o go ke kansa kapa o ke suka ba o ke toto malunga o kai to tonu ya ke hanga ko to ai fai to go ne susinika he ko va ve nga fatu ta ma ke sino ka ke ko be na fai fo ke to kanga ke fai kau ko hiko talo ka mata mai hu e fonua ko ni na tala be ka ia ma tau ia fa inga pare ma sino pa ke ka ta ki mai hu ko e malo na ko uhinga e tau sio ke fainga ta ia kan kai ko na hu o ia ho na ma tau hi na to ko fa ambe ke to ki o mai en ke mahino ke ka kai e fonua ko hinga pe ko fa mata le to ta ko ni o ko tapri he cho when ai ko fa fa ngongo ko ki ai e tau pot ngai mo ui una tala mai ka ku ke kansa o na ke hu e susinika ka pa o ku ke magmaf ka pa o gi ai ha toto malunga pe ko suka he kai to ton ke ha
kidney failure
pe ka pa o ku ya ka pa pal pare ma ho ko fua kai to ton ke to ko e hu ko ni He koe whamatala e toi tā, wau ke ni ngā ako e hu koe ni suesini ka, nei mau e ni hau mai mai vai lasi koe e tisiki. Koe swa moni ia, ne hoko e asteria mo ngai whanua koe ia. Aia koe tau sio koe ke ngā i wheki koe ne mea koe ni kainga. Mo kātaki, kau whaambe ke tau alu ke mo ni. Tau tala noa mahino pe ke mea koe ni ko hinga, he koe tau sio koe ki hono whakalao, i koe hono whakamalohi e hu koe, ni lotonga koe ia koe tau pli e chowe, tala mai ia, ka pau ke kansa, ona ke hu, ka pau ke toto maalunga, ona ke hu, ka pau ke suka, ona ke hu koe. Pe koe awhai ngā mahak tau hiau ke mua koe, saionga pe ho ki tai taimia koe ia. Koe whamatala koe nei whai toe tā, nei tala mai le vai ia. Koe tā pe me nei whakata mai me FDA ko Amerika, koe whaisa. Ai koe hu koe nei whaisa, ai knau pe, o ku tāwange, but you said that Pfizer is been approved.
Yeah, let me explain what the difference.
Okay.
After the first trial from AstraZeneca, when the people, on the gazebo, they got the false positive HIV. And we have the second trial of the AstraZeneca, and the people, they have a stroke.
Have stroke.
They have a stroke.
Pakalava.
And people die on the second trial. Okay? So what happened? After that, all the information, it's been hid. Not like B Pfizer. For example, B Pfizer is so clear. You took the vaccine, you must be between 15 minutes to 30 minutes in the hospital under review. And if you have any allergic happen in this period time, you will take this type of medication. And if there is nothing allergic reaction happen, but you have the symptoms like weak or burn or any type of symptoms in 72 hours is still same, you must admit it to the emergency. And the medicine will be 1, 2, 3, we have clear. With AstraZeneca, we not are clear. This number one. Number two is B Pfizer. When they do approve from the kids from 11 years above, we already have how many children they been have the B Pfizer, what is the reaction, what. I have all the study in my computer about B Pfizer, about Chinese one, about the Moderna, about AstraZeneca. And I will show you, after the second trial of AstraZeneca, we don't have anything. That's why, till now, the FDA asking. And you want to know about this. The FDA and the United States of America, they blaming the manufacturing of AstraZeneca in India because causing of Delta. Why? When we study microbiology, the virus need a host. And what is the host? Host, it's the cells, any living cells. Any cells, the virus can go there. So with COVID, we have different type. In wood, they can live above 18 hours till they find the host. If it's plastic, that can go to 24, 26. If it's metal, so we have this type, we know how far COVID can live without a host. But guess what? This one of the question been to Oxford, and we didn't get an answer till now. Because you have now people vaccinated in India with AstraZeneca. Again, in science, they have the ribonucleic acid, which is the RNA, plus adenovirus, come to your body, plus COVID, come to your body. Maybe this being activated for Delta type as the union between the two viruses.
So totally
we don't have a response from Oxford University about this question. Above that, the United States of America and the European Union countries, when people they are full vaccine of AstraZeneca, they are not allowed to enter to the state or to the European country. Why? Because they said with the causes of the biochemical or biological problem being happen in India, in the manufacturing, because the big manufacturers of AstraZeneca in India. And you can see the disaster happen in India, and Delta start from India. But till now, we don't have a questions. We don't have an answer for our questions. So when you tell me they make for kids and they say safe, I won't see this reference. Look, in science, we're dealing with reference. You tell me we have this one, I won't see it.
No, we want the government to, they're the one that announced it.
To announce what?
That it was on a news here in Tonga, that they said that the vaccine that are using today has been tested before.
Which
and
type?
We don't.
And tested where?
I don't know. It's a general information.
I tell you what, if I bring my computer, my laptop, I will sign, because in WHO for doctors, you can log in. I will log into my account in WHO and I will show you all the reference till up to date for AstraZeneca. There's nothing being tested. And what they said, I can show you the FDA and the WHO. AstraZeneca is not for under 18.
See, Dr. Ray, this is the first time our people can hear this message. All they heard before is just the other side. And we are here today to give them another side of the story.
Yes. No, I tell you what, because today I hear that the Japanese mental doctor, his name Dr. Yuta. He said he's from the WHO and he's the one who's pushing the vaccine for the kids. And I was asking him to come today in this live.
Yeah.
To see his view and my view. And I won't see what he's come from. Where is this type, I won't see evidence from the WHO saying that AstraZeneca for under 18. I won't see. Because if he said that and he don't show me, I will report the WHO straight away. I'm waiting for him to come. But he's basing today, so I said, okay, tell me your time and we come for a show. When you sit with me today, yes, you ask me what type of question you want me to ask. I said what? Ask me whatever you want. Because if I didn't give you an answer, that means I will shut my mouth. So I'm here for Dr. Yuta to come and sit. They ask question, same to me. And you answer with your reference and I will answer with my reference. But guess what? I will answer from the WHO for all what you've been saying. Then I found there is a media talk about the misleading of the information. Who misleading the information? When you guys ask the doctors and they said, we don't know, we hear it from the CNN, we hear it from the news. What is this background of science? What I'm saying, you guys go and search for every single word. You will see a reference for it. You will see a reference. For me, I'm getting angry when people, they use WHO, FDA, without any guideline. You know, for example, for the health worker, the professional health worker, before they give the vaccine, they must fill up the risk sheet. Did anyone here fill the risk sheet? But this risk sheet must be by doctor, not by nurse. That's number one. Number two guideline. When the nurse or the doctor gave the Houmakelikao, the injection, they must have this type of a study, how you give the injection. Because if you take the injection and was something wrong happen, you will kill the people. True. So if you go to my qualification, you will see. Because we study how, in which angle we give the vaccine. The Houmakelikao, when we give, in which angle. And before you give it, how you check the patient, how you check the area of the vaccine. But here, I hear the nurse, bang, go, bang, bang, bang. No, it's not like another vaccine or any type of injection, muscles infection you take. No. So everyone here, he must go and have this certificate. They will explain how you gave and how you transfer. You know, for example, when you take the vaccine from the hospital to a village, the way you gave it, and what temperature. And if the temperature high, you can't, this vaccine will be off. and the way you take it, and the timing between you took the vaccine from the cooling area to give it to the patient, how long it will take. This is all the safety for the vaccine. This is all the requirement from the WHO. So when you tell me about the WHO, tell me about the guideline of the WHO. Don't just mention, because this makes people angry from the WHO. The World Health Organization, we have a guideline for everything. When people nowadays get angry from the WHO, it's not the WHO fault. The WHO from the beginning announced this vaccine to prevent the symptoms, not for protection.
Not full protection.
And when the doctor said it's for protection and then the people get sick and die, people blame the WHO. No, blame the doctor, because he don't have time to read what the WHO guideline for it. When the WHO said the vaccine not for all, why here they push it for everyone? Where is the guideline? Where? When you talk about something in health, give me a guideline. Tell me I'm following the FDA guideline. Perfect. Show me which line. We work in code of conduct and ethics. Okay? So when you tell me I'm following the FDA guideline, perfect. Show me the FDA guideline. Which point? Which section?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
For those that have been vaccinated, can they still pass on the virus to someone else? Let's say a double jab. Can they still?
Or some, those who haven't taken the vaccine.
No. I'm talking about, let's say if I have not taken the vaccine yet, but if, let's say if I'm taken, to those people who are watching that have taken the vaccine twice, can they still be a carrier?
Okay. Let me explain to you.
Okay.
Adenovirus, it's for chimpanzee. It's hard to come to human.
Okay.
Okay? So that's me. When I inject you with adenovirus, you're the one. Even I sit with you, you can't give it to me because it's not in my body, but it's in your body. You will have it, not me. You can't pass it to me because this type of virus, it's just for chimpanzee, monkeys, for animals, not for human. So you can't pass it to me. You got it?
So why did they put on the virus of the monkey and do this injection?
Again, if you listen to me now, I talk about the RNA and the MR. What is the RNA? The RNA, it's ribonucleic acid. It's very complex. This play part to carrying the message from the DNA for the protein, to build the protein in our body, which is the protein production here. We call it synthesis protein. So if your body didn't make protein, you will die. So that's why we have the RNA to carrying the message from the DNA to our body to create the protein.
You said before there is M before RNA. What does that mean?
Okay, because M, it's come from the other, from different. M here, it's a messenger, come not from human. Like if I took the virus from you and I make the vaccine, Saibe, it's still under RNA. But when I take from other type of living, like animals, now we will use M as a messenger. You got it? So this is a messenger from animals to us. Now, another question. When they ask, or when I'm said when they ask, one of the FDA questions to the Oxford, to AstraZeneca, to get the approval. We want to know the future of the people. They have the mRNA. Any genetic change will be happen to them. No answer. Because we not know the future. Because it's been approved under trial. So maybe these people will get more hair. What happened to their genetic? For example, pregnancy. Pregnant. They are not allowed to take the vaccine. And I have here 2 patients, they've been miscarriage. Again, where is the guideline before you give the vaccine? Where is this risk sheet? It's being done by the doctor, signed by the patient that he already understands. You know, the Australian Prime Minister 2 days ago, what he said. And I will send you the videos. I send you the video. He said the people, they get sick or die from the vaccine, that's their fault because they don't sit with their doctor to fill the risk sheet. Where is the risk sheet here? You know, if I ask you, do you have any autoimmune disease? No. Do you have diabetes? No. Do you have heart failure? No. Do you have cancer? No. And then you take it and you're sick. Whose fault? It's your fault.
True.
But when it's your fault, when someone asks you the list.
True.
But if someone not ask you the list and you don't feel it, you don't sign it.
This is very important. He needs to translate it to the public.
Ia koe tānoa pēr ki he huhu koe ni kai ma mea mai koe. Ai mahu inga koe ke whai koe huhu pa ai o whai haki.
Whai ke eki toi tā. He koe huhu koe ni he tuka WHO, kua pau pe ke whai he toke tā. Uka ke whai hat nesi. Koe kai lai niru tānoa ke tangata koe ni ui loto i he mea koe WHO. Koe hinga he tene whakafono e ngai. Hango ngai whihu i koe ne whai koe ki mua pa whai e huhu. Kua pau pe ke ne eke au ke kansa, au ke mau koe he toto, au mau koe he suka, au ke mau koe he ngai makoe ni. Ko ne mau beha mea e ta, o ke tuu koe he tuu ngā whakatū tāma ke apito ke huhu koe ia. Te koe ia heka ke huhu rewa koe ia. E paku, o whae toa anke ni ko hinga koe, ko mea koe nei lawi kia nei koe mRNA. Ai koe nei uhinga, na e whai e whehu ia o eke. Koe hae kau ngā kovi he lele loloa o huhu koe ni. Pena ia pe lawi kia e tō tā ne nai. Ta mai, u koe ke tau ilo ta mahalo pe tō tā koe ia, e liriwe ne ti e na ai. Mahalo pena alo no fulufulu hange koe ngeri, mahalo pena hovare pe ko liriu sompi, pe mahalo pe ko ngai me e hoko amui. Ai kono mo ni u tau ke kamata atu foke ne huhueni. Ka ke ko ai pen ko hinga ke whakari fia pe tu hifu tau tolu. Ka ko uhinga ko hanga ni e poto e tangata ko mai ai ke huko no whamata pe to e tā. Pe ko mea whakafia mo ni, to da Steve tau hen mo to e tā. Ke ni whakamala ala mai ngai mea ni ko hinga tau nofo fifili pa tau pupu tu. Pa wau ke tunga kon whamalohi angi, tau te tairiri angai, he toi whamalohi kon ke hu ka koeni, tau sio, pa tau maalanga te tau tole whamatala e toke tā. Toka, is there any effect of what is happening already right now, after the vaccine, when we started to roll out the vaccine here in Tonga?
Okay, for my record in my clinic, I have 13 patients. 13 patients. It's been denied from the hospital what happened to them. It's because of the vaccine. One of the very common, they said to the people, it's a germ, go to the brain, cause stroke. Okay, I will go back to what they said. Germ in the brain, come to the brain, cause a stroke. We have cardiovascular disease, and we have cerebrovascular disease. The cardiovascular disease, that's the cardiovascular when they deal with the vein and arteries in your body. We call cardiovascular. And that's why we call it cardiovascular disease. If you have any disease in your vein or your artery, you go to cardiologist. We have cerebrovascular. The cerebrovascular, that's the vein and arteries inside the head, the brain. So the cardiologist can't jump to the cerebrovascular area, as the neurologist can't jump to the cardiovascular. So but we both deal with vein and arteries, but in different area. In my country, I'm a neurologist, so I know what is the cerebrovascular. Okay? So when the doctor said, germ, go to the brain. Number one, that's a big mistake. We have, when we study anatomy, histology, physiology, etiology, any type of medicine, okay? There is a brain barrier. The brain barrier got created on us. It's a filter. This filter just allowed the blood and nutrient go to the brain. Any type of virus, even when I said the virus is the smallest living in the earth, they not allow. Bacteria, fungus, viral, they not allow. When people get cancer, the cancer is outside, but not in. Okay? The brain barrier, So when they said it's a germ, go to the brain, what, can you name it to me? Because there's nothing like this. Until now. In medicine, we work in theory. There is no fact 100%. But all the facts till nowadays, the brain barrier just allow the blood and nutrient to go to the brain. Any other things, no. Number one. Number two, the heart. We call it the bomb of the blood. The heart, it's muscles tissue. So if you have a germ, you feel weak in your muscles. So if you have germ, rather to go to the brain, at least the heart, because the heart is muscles tissue. Okay? That's number two. Number three, I never heard in my life that's a germ go to the brain, cause a stroke. So there's a three medical mistake in this definition to give it to the people. At least give something logic. At least give something to the people. When the people go and search, they found what you've been saying. The cerebrovascular, when we talk about clot, like stroke, same as blood clot. But when it's come to the heart, we call clot. When it's in the brain, we call a stroke. Okay? The cerebrovascular system, it's different. And if you don't understand the cerebrovascular, don't jump and just put information. When the people come to me, when they said germ, what germ? Like, for example, one of them, they have a stroke. The doctor said it's a nerve twisted in the brain causes stroke. Stroke, that's cerebrovascular. That's number one. Number two, another mistake here, because we have the central nerve system. We have in the nerve system, we have two. Central nerve system, and then we have the sympathetic nerve system. So the central nerve system, that's all the bunch of nerve inside here. Outside, we call the sympathetic. When he said a nerve, can you name me the nerve on the central nerve system? So if I crack my head like this, I will get a stroke? How come? And how come it's twisted? You tell me. When we do surgery, most of the time, take time to open the skeleton. Like we cut the skin, then we put hole, we drill hole, and then with the grinder to take this. This with the water and suction during the surgery when we cut. This taking time of the surgery. But once you open it, it's easy to do the surgery inside. But this, the most taking time part. If I do here or here, that's the hardest. This, the one take time of when we do surgery on the brain. Take time to cut. It's not the easy one. To cut granite, it's easier to just do hole here. So when they said it's a nerve twisted in the brain, I never hear this type of medical terminology in my entire life. The nerve twisted in the brain.
Dr. Ray. Dr. Ray, we want to thank you so much for all the information. We are trying to digest all the information that you're bringing on this program here. And I know it's going to help people who are watching in this program. But if
you have any question, ask.
Well, I have a lot of questions, but through your the explanation that you use, you have answered it about the virus, about the transmitting of the virus, and but I have some questions. It's an ethical questions for the doctors here in Tonga. Are they silenced from saying the truth to the people, or?
I tell you what. Because when you said the doctor silence, if the doctor read and just go to sign, because every day I have email from the WHO with what news, because I have my registration, my login, so the WHO sent all the latest news. But if I ask you something you don't know, you will say, I don't know. Okay? Yeah. But for me, when I'm responsible for people's life, okay, even Jesus said, search in the book, and you will find the life. But it's a different thing. When a doctor search, he knows exactly what the right information and where he get the right information. But when the people go to Dr. Google, that's messed up. That's make more conflict and more argument. Because when you ask the doctor and the doctor said, I don't know, now I have Dr. Google. So you go to Dr. Google, whatever, any information there, you will take it. For example, I have this lady, she is shortened of breathing and chest pain. Went to the hospital, heart failure. Medicine, go back. It's lung cancer. Medicine, go back. No, it's a germ, make you fakakau that you are sick. They gave her depression and anti-anxiety. But it's haki vela. And what I did, because the people here, when someone have coughing, shortness of breathing, lemon, ginger, garlic, and once they have it, she's getting worse more and more. So what I did, I stopped her from ginger and garlic and lemon from the red meat, because the red meat cause more hakivela. And I gave her the water for the baby, the grape water. She's back to normal. So sometimes when you Google, I have shortness of breathing, I'm coughing, I have chest pain, lemon, ginger. Dangerous. So, yeah, that's why Dr. Google is so dangerous, because you don't know exactly what are you doing. So I'm just telling the people, when you go to Dr. Google, just be aware, not all the information is right to you. And you found the ice and the fire, and you will be confused between both. But from the WHO guideline, again, the doctor must explain to the public according to the material we have, okay, for the time being, and must be clear. And in a top of that, they gave us a scenarios. When the patient come and ask you this question, how you answer? When the patient asks, how you answer the public in media? And how. Because now a lot of people complain from the WHO, and the WHO, it's clear. You just throw everything to the WHO. When the doctor is responsible to explain the guideline clear from the WHO, not just because the WHO, no. When the doctor here, they said it's safe for 18 for the student, I want to see the reference. Because the only reference, current one, be Pfizer, only from 11 years above, even not under 11. And the B Pfizer, they got the approval 2 weeks ago. So before the 2 weeks ago, anyone under 18, no, for any type of vaccine. The only vaccine being approved from the FDA, the B Pfizer for 11 and above.
Why can't they use it 18 above Pfizer, but they use AstraZeneca?
No. I'm talking about the approval. Look, okay. Before under 18, any type of vaccine, no. 2 weeks ago, B Pfizer, 11 years above, they can take the B Pfizer. For AstraZeneca, under 18, no. Above 45, no.
Above 45?
Above 45, you put yourself in high risk. And between 18 and 45, if you have any autoimmune disease. When I talk about the autoimmune disease, that's thyroid, hypo or hyper, diabetes, pancreas, liver, okay, kidney failure, cancer, Even if you have, even if you have cough, pneumonia, you can't take it. Like people have pneumonia, they can't take the vaccine.
Vai peke ki malo mo mea mai ko ai ko mea pe mau inga ta pe ko tui pe malo ko fare ile le ta haia pe me programa ko ni ko mai to ta ki mo pe ke fai ai hu ki fai pe ki fa tolo ko hinga ke ilo tunga wai ho sino pe ka ke ngata ilo e me ko ke hu ki ho sino pe ka ke ko anga pe fa ka me program ko ni pe mo mateu teu pe mo ui ko anga ta fononga ko ni ko anga pe e whakaukau e tangata ke o me ngai hu ko ni ka ko tua pure ke te tau tolu ke tau mau inga teu teu e mo ui ia ko hinga he ko mate e ko pau pe ke hoko mai ka ko whakau te tua ke te ta Steven
I o whamalo atu Tongoa, Pastor Perry, whamalo atu Dr. Ray, thank you so much for that eye-opening and waking us up to see what's the real thing and what's going on here. You have answered hundreds of questions that came from the people. Thank you so much. We're looking for more of a conversation and clarification with our questions, with what has been given to us. Ko mea ko kula ko whahonga la pito pe kataki peke ki whakamahino peke kakai. We are not against vaccine. There's a certain type of vaccine, okay, pe ai huhuia oku ia ho haalahi ki ai. We are ke hange kono whakamatala mahino mai ko ia he toke tā ko e ahoni. Pe okay ho totonu ko uhi ko tempare ko otua, ko tempare au otua okay ho talau mari ke tafiri. Ka ki moi fe mau ke mahino au pito. Hange ko ngai mea ko ne feke lau lea fe mau ai fo muia. Pe ke ta utu pe moto ke ta ke eke ko to ngai mea ko to pe iai pe to fei me ho Feitu'u uni. Ki he huhu ko ia o ku ke na fo wai. Kai ke ko whakamalo lahi ki he ngai whakamala ala ko to pe ki he taimi pe okay amanak lere ki he kahau. Ke amanak lere ki he kahau to whalala mua ke otua. Pe ai pe mua ke uraki ki whika uraki ta si sukalai si mo tau whalala ki he otua i hatoi me a. Au ku toki tānaki mai e Feitu'u ki mui, ai ke whika uraki e tau whalala ki he otua, pa me ta si sukalai si ki he tau mo ui. Ye hiva na e whahiva e hiva ko ni Christ is enough for me. Ko e tuo ia ko e ahoni, uhi ko e lahi ko e ngahi laurea, pe au kei pe whakaamu na lava ke tokoni mai poto ngai mo ui hono whakamahino, hono whakamama, ai e ria ko e ni. Pe au ku ikai pe ke tui e Polokalamani, o ku ikai pe te mau tui, pe au kai pe te utui au, o ku whawhi paki i mālohi, ai whakamālohi i koe ni o e huhu AstraZeneca i ho tau kakai. O ku whawhi paki i mālohi au pito i a koutu iau, o ku hala whaka e whika, hala whaka wholofola, pe hala whaka otua, o hau piki koni stu tōne o tonga, ke whaka mālohi i ta whaaki koe ni. O koutu iau, pe whihala ki lahi au pito, hange ko ngai potu ngā ue, pe mwe ngai ngā ue anga. O ku nau whaka mālohi e kau ngā ue, ke nau huhu ki nau tolu, pe kai kai e more e nau ngā ue. O ku hala lahi au pito ai tuunga ko ia whakamolare pe moe anga ko ia e tau lotu mo tau tui ko ia ki he otua pe moe mea ko ia o ku fōwai i he ahoni pe kai ke ngatai kono whakamalohi e whanau ke huhu o koe ke hata tonu e ki he ta whaaki koe ni koe whiri tau ataino me whiri whawhawhai tui koe nuus whakamahino mai ko ki nau tolu ko ia o si huhu o ku nau ke whakamafola pe i ki nau tolu ia ai vailasi. Pea ka paurewa aku pehe, pea ka pau koreo kai ke malu i kakato ki tau tolu he huhu, haa ku whakamalohi i ai. Kai ke ofaat ke toko taha kotoa pe, whatauanga taha pe ki na mo tolu he iki, Pastor Perry.
Yeah, I just want to say, we are not against the vaccine as you said, but we are against for no guideline. How we take the vaccine safe, which type of vaccine, that's the very important one. And before we finish, I'm waiting for Dr. Yuta to come, or any doctor here to come, and we'll talk on the life. Okay, rather to have one side and the other side. I'm welcome all the doctors here.
Amen.
The CEO, the Minister of Health, any type of doctor here to come and say his view too, and we will have the views.
Thank you, Dr.
Dr. Ray, before we finish, I have one more question. Is there anything in this vaccine called graphene oxide.
Okay, let me check here because I have the ingredient, and I will explain to you what this one. Okay, the ingredient for AstraZeneca, it's the adenovirus from the chimpanzee, and we have the amino acid, it's called histidine, and we have the hydrochloride histidine, and we have sodium chloride, we have magnesium chloride, we have sodium DTA, it's EDTA, this is the one we're using for the cleaning the floor, okay? And we have sugar, we have alcohol, and we have the the polysorbate 80, and we have the water. The one you're talking about, that's in B Pfizer.
Pfizer.
Yeah.
So is that a poison?
Okay. When we talk about the poison, we have something called LDL and the ADL. If you eat food and this food not come to your applicable type, that can cause poison. If you drink acid, that can cause poison. But when we go to the atmosphere, and when we do chemistry, when we do compound, in our compound, we use two things, major connector or minor connector, okay? The major connector for AstraZeneca, it's the alcohol, and the minor connector, it's the water, okay? When we use the adenovirus, we put it in a salt atmosphere to keep the virus there, not active. But to make it the whole component, with everything, we hold it with alcohol to make it safe, and the water to give us the carbon and the carbon reaction, because water is 2H O2. Yeah, it's like H2O, but in the chemistry, because the hydrogen 2 and the oxygen is 2, so O2. So that's why you put 2H2O2. Okay? So I'm very specific when we come to the chemistry, because when the people said water is H2O, there is no O. It's O2. Oxygen is O2. So the hydrogen, it's 2 hydrogen with 1 O. And because we have the O2 in reality, so that's 4 hydrogen. That's why we write 2H2O2. That's when we write. Because here when I ask what they said H2O, and what is O? It's O2. The oxygen is O2, and the periodic table it's O2. So here, what happened to make the type of the salt, what you use, okay, but the amount, it's different. That's why we said when you take the vaccine, the Pfizer must be for any allergic can happen to you. You will have this type of medicine as a time, like the guideline table for any reaction happen from the Pfizer, with the first 15 minutes to 30 minutes to 72 hours. We have the guideline of medicine. Okay?
Yeah, I can see the ingredients here. There's a lot of salt in here, and also the oxide. But I want to thank you all. I thank you, Dr. Ray, for talk about all this very important information here. Yeah. And also Dr. Steve Aibolo, Pastor Steve. Whamalola hieni ki he Polokalama ako ni utu au e toki ai pia taimi ulahi nga information ia ke o mai he tangatani e toki ta ke whakamatala ke ngahi mea koe ni whakak moi huhu pia ke awea pe kakai pe ke ngata pe tala noa pe ta whaki whakawhiwhikau e tokanga ke mo ue kakai koe hoha pe ia ko hinga koe tausio koe whanki mea hoko ke mo ue kakai ngai ahoni koe lahe mo ui more pia lere mo influence lahi lahi ni lere ngai ahoni Ko hinga ku fai tokanga I ta whaki ko ngā whawhikau ko hi ka hoko ha malparema ke ka kai e whanua pau peke malanga ko pau peke tokanga ko pau peke whai ngau ko toko ia ko hinga ko ngau e tau hi whawhikau te ngai peko hola veto ke ta Steve ko e kono moni ko ha ko e malolo e whasipi ko ko te ke tau te tawhaki o whaosi e ngau ko ia pa ko hinga ku fai tokanga to ko ia e motor ko ta pe kai e whanua mau o whalahat kering motor e whoke por ngai moi ki he minister mo ui pa pe fo ki he CEO kau to ke ta ko pe o kai ki tau fe paki ki tau tolu ia o tau nga o fa ta pe ki tau to ko tau nga o ko tau mo ke fa mo ui ko tau ka kai ke o ia fa nga ta hok ki na tolu ko nga mai ma tolu ke fa paki ki mo tolu o nga pe ki tau nga fa ta he mo ui ro pe wa mo ta fa ki mo to ki mo lava ki mo tolu ia ka wai pe ta fa ki te mo lava ki mo tolu pe hage ko mo o me to ke ta ko ni ko fa mana bana ha to ke ta pe me pon ngai mo ui lava ke lava mai ka ko ilo pe whaingata he ko ka venga le whaingata ki whata no kia lolo tonga time ko ni ka ko hange pe ko lava ko fa doia ek minista be be fo ke CEO ata pe te tonga television e la mai ki tau Polokalama tau ta no te ko tu e to kon la pito e ke kai e fonwa pe ko tu e lava ke malu ia tau ka kai ko tau mo ape ke to la ya hevani kai to sia heri amen ko hinga ko me ko ngo ko ya u ko hinga ko si ka kai ko ni ko si na la vea ko foi ni ko ala ta sia ko ki te lava ria mai e ai ko ke te lava ria mai ka te ko me ko fai ko lo tu pe ma ana ko me ko ki te tra ki u lo ko tunga ko ya ni mo ya na pe ko no sma si su pe kai ko me pe fai pe halot ma ana ko fam fo ke lava ke a le mai pe fa ta la no mo ye pe lava ke ta ki ke ni ma si su ki lo to ke mo ki mo pa te hoko ha me e ta oi pe ko me mahui ngai ke alo mo ngai kai ke nau mau mo tangata ke nau alu ke hevan ke nau mau ai mo ia si suklai si ko toi ko me mahui ngai a heni o fai da mau toka ngai ki ai he mau toka nga ko hi ke o la he mate te ke nau mau si so he mau fa ma to ke nau rak mau si so ki mo ba hoko me ke nau tol o fala ke mo tol kai fonwa malo pito mo me mai ta pa ki no mo to he ki ta to fulonga ki tam ka ko mai malo mo me
Thank you.